You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast number 291.1, our Central Indiana Scoreboard show for June 9, 2025. With a disappointing Pacers report, an update on Caitlin Clark's status as the Fever prepare to play Atlanta on Monday. We'll hear from head coach Stephanie White on that. Plus, we have Colts news, high school baseball semi-state matchups, plus the French Open, Stanley Cup, NASCAR, College World Series, golf, and a little bit of NBA news. All coming right up.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, Central Indiana sports fans. Today is June 9, 2025. It's a Monday. It's another day for Central Indiana sports. So it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, podcasting today from headquarters in Jeffersonville. Producer Susie is in the control room. Sorry, we're a little late today. It's been a very busy weekend for the Central Indiana Sports Report. And as I say, I shoot for the mornings on the Scoreboard show, but sometimes it's going to be a little later. Still going to be a good one, even if a tiny bit abbreviated. We'll have more on the Pacers and Thunder Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll have our NBA Finals report with John Robertson, probably on Tuesday. If Mike Rich can get away from his active duty training at Camp Atterbury, we'll also have a Pacers report. Really bad timing to be called to active duty. I guess the Army just doesn't consider our feelings enough. Coming up later Monday, I will finally have our baseball regional scoreboard show. I was waiting for the times and locations of the semi-states. We have those now, and it won't be long before I have that for you. And our girls tennis team state and singles and doubles scoreboard show also coming up for you on Monday. Plus, we'll have the IU report with Grant Schaus, 5 questions with Will Rutherford, the Major League Baseball report with Cody Emerson, and Uncle Paul, and so much more. Please go to our YouTube page and subscribe. Do it now. Go right now. Unless you're driving. If you're driving, though, you find a safe place to pull over. Go right now. It's on your phone. Subscribe to the Central Indiana Sports Report YouTube page. Thank you. The Pacers lost 123-107 in Game 2 in Oklahoma City in the NBA Finals on Sunday night. There were a couple of times when it looked like the Pacers might do their voodoo, but it never happened. The series will be tied 1-1 when it resumes in Indianapolis on Wednesday for Game 3. The first final game played in Indianapolis in 25 years. Game 1 star Tyrese Halliburton led the Pacers with 17 points and also with 6 assists. But he was nowhere to be found for much of the contest Sunday and said his slow start was a big reason for the loss. However, he said the Pacers will not panic in their race to 4 wins and an NBA championship.
You got the split, you feel good about that, but we definitely want to play better tonight. I think our processes need to be a lot better for us to be successful here. So, it's still a race in the first to 4. So we're going to our home court, tied 1-1, and, we love playing at home, love playing in front of our fans. Our fans are amazing, so just see where we can get better and, just take it a day at a time.
Even in the loss, the Pacers did have 7 players in double figures, along with Halliburton. Miles Turner scored 16, Pascal Siakam 15, Aaron Nesmith and Benedict Mathurin scored 14 points apiece, and Aaron Nimhard and TJ McConnell both scored 11. The Pacers shot just 45% from the field and had 15 turnovers. MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was fantastic and led all scorers with 34 points. Game 3 is 8:30 on Wednesday on ABC, and as I said earlier, we will have plenty of coverage between now and then of the NBA Finals. The Fever look to go 3-0 in the Commissioner's Cup Tuesday in Atlanta in the Fever Dream game at 7:30. The game can be seen on ESPN3. The Fever have won their last 2 without Caitlin Clark and hope to have her back soon. She will miss her 5th straight game on Tuesday night with a thigh injury. but soon.
I think for us, it's we've got to work, both her and Sophie, back into, are they in basketball condition? What does it mean to go live? It's one thing to do some shooting drills. It's another thing to get out there on the floor, get back into to movement patterns, rhythm, timing. And so that's what part of, picking and choosing things that they can be in practice so that we can see their progression. And, both of them being out for long periods of time, you got to work your way back into being game ready. We're ready to start ramping back up and make sure, it's completely different when you're just doing one-on-one workouts and when you're out there in 5-on-5, getting up and down the floor, moving laterally. So she's been allowed to do some practicing, not everything, and we're gonna be smart and we're gonna be cautious and we're gonna play the long game and work her back in very intentionally.
That, of course, was Fever head coach Stephanie White. The Colts officially have new owners. Jim Irsay's daughters, Carly Gordon, Casey Foyt, and Kaylin Jackson will take control of the organization beginning immediately. His oldest daughter, Carly Gordon, will serve as CEO and principal owner. Casey Foyt will be the owner and executive vice president, while the youngest sister, Kaylin Jackson, will be owner and chief brand officer. She will also be president of the Colts Foundation. Jim Irsay died in May. We have semi-state matchups released late Sunday. Wapahani and Oak Hill will play at Oak Hill in the semi-state opener at 11 a.m. on Saturday, with Boone Grove and Westview in the semifinal. Delta will take on Andrean at 10:30 a.m. at Schreiber Field in LaPorte, with Northwood and Norwell in the second semifinal. Westfield and Clinton Prairie play in the second semifinal of their semi-states. The Shamrocks face upset-minded Goshen, which is 12-11 on the season, after coming off a huge upset over Crown Point. That will be in the 2 p.m. game at Kovaleski Stadium in South Bend. And the Gophers will battle Fort Wayne Canterbury at 2 at Loeb Stadium in Lafayette. All 4 semi-state championship games will be played at 7 at the same location as the semifinals. Most of the state's golf sectionals were played on Monday morning. We'll have the results for you on Tuesday's Scoreboard show, and we will also have a full golf sectional Scoreboard show for you sometime late morning, early afternoon.
In one of the most epic final matches in major championship history, it is the charismatic Spaniard Carlos Alcaraz who prevails back-to-back. He's just claimed his 5th major. He just turned 22.
That was John McEnroe and Kevin Cronin on the call of Carlos Alcaraz's thrilling win in the French Open final. Over 5 hours of tennis, staving off match points and coming from 2 sets down for the Spaniard in a 4-6, 6-7, 6-4, 7-6, 7-6 victory with a 10-2 win in the super tiebreaker of the 5th set, to beat number 1 Jannik Sinner, who had won the previous 2 majors. Quite a rivalry brewing there, with a couple of young Americans coming up, might be challenging them as well. Good time for men's tennis. The last 20 years have been amazing. It was the first ever French Open final to have a 5-set tiebreaker to determine the champion, and the first 5-set tiebreaker in the entire tournament. The Stanley Cup restarts Monday with an 8 p.m. Game 3 face-off between the Panthers and the Oilers in Miami. The team split 2 games at Edmonton, with the Oilers taking Game 1 and the defending champion Panthers Game 2, both in overtime. The 2 teams went 7 games in last year's final. Game 3 is on TNT and the Max app. The Reds finished off a sweep of the Diamondbacks with a 4-2 win on Sunday at Great American Ballpark, and now head to Cleveland on Monday for a series. The Cubs were blanked 4-0 by old NL Central friend Jack Flaherty and the Tigers. The Cubs still lead the Cardinals by 4 games and the Brewers by 5.5 in the NL Central as they head to Philadelphia to face a Bryce Harper-less Phillies squad. Harper was placed on the IL this weekend with an injured finger. The Reds are 7.5 games back. 7 of the 8-team College World Series field is set. Only one Game 3 is needed in the best of 3 Super Regionals, and that is Monday at 7. It will be Cinderella Murray State against Duke. The winner joins number 13 Coastal Carolina, Louisville, number 15 UCLA, the only team from the Big Ten in the World Series, number 3 Arkansas, Arizona, number 6 LSU, and number 8 Oregon State, which won a wild one, 14-10 over Florida State in Game 3 of their series Sunday. Denny Hamlin won his 3rd race of the season Sunday, winning NASCAR's race at Michigan Speedway, just a second ahead of Chris Buescher, after the track's dominant driver and series points leader William Byron pitted on the race's penultimate lap. Ryan Fox beat Sam Burns in a playoff hole to win the Canadian Open at Osprey Valley in Caledon, Ontario. And Cleveland Cavalier star Darius Garland is expected to miss 4 to 5 months after toe surgery. Tough news for a franchise expecting to compete for championships this year and next year. It's been tough for them. Thank you so much for listening. Always appreciate it. Please share us with your friends. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.